Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I have been planning and thinking about and dreaming about and getting excited about filming this video for so long because today I'm going to be talking you through my autumn winter knitting plans. I have never done like a seasonal planning video like this before, but really love watching other people's videos like this. Mine is going to be slightly different only because I literally have so many patterns and projects that I want to work on throughout the autumn winter months that it's hard to divide them up by like autumn and winter, so I thought I'd just bulk them all together and hopefully I can get as many of these done as I possibly can with my own two hands over the course of the rest of the year. Maybe at the start of next year I can do a little check-in and see how I'm going, update you, because I don't know actually when autumn officially starts. Are we in autumn now? I have no idea, but I've got so many projects that I want to work on. I've got yarn for some of them as well, so I thought today I could go through my patterns that I really hope to cast on over the rest of this year and show you the yarn that I plan to use for it. I should also say there is no way I'm going to get through all of these patterns, but I thought I would kind of brain dump everything onto you guys in case you were looking for some autumn winter patterns too. Some of these could roll into next year and next autumn winter because they are pieces that I would love in my wardrobe. Oh, before we get into the video I'll talk about what I'm wearing very quickly. This is the Una Sweater by November Knits. It is one of my favourite knits. In fact, I think this is like the first knit I did last year, about this time last year, that actually looks really super professional. This was when I realised that actually I'm quite a good knitter, because this pretty much looks store-bought. It's a beautiful raglan jumper with this really nice detail on the yoke, really nice long ribbing on the sleeves, and it has like a super high split hem and ribbing down the front and the back. And for this I used Knitting for Olive's Heavy Merino in the shade Thundercloud, held together with one strand of their soft silk mohair in the shade Midnight, and it's just the nicest kind of mild dark grey navy. And I haven't worn this all year because it's been so hot, but I can't wait to dig it out again now that the weather's starting to cool down. Okay, so kicking off with the patterns that I already have the yarn for, I'm just waiting for a good moment to cast on. So the first pattern I am desperate to make is the Eve dress by Purl. I'm a magpie for sparkle or sequins or glitter, and as soon as I saw this knitted dress I was like, hell yes. That is a bit of me. It's a mini trapeze dress inspired by the styles of the 60s, and it's knit in the most beautiful sequin yarn, which is super hard to get in the UK, but I did place an order. So the yarn recommended is sequin yarn from Wool Hale, which I think is only available in Denmark, but they do ship to the UK, and I made an order and I got a dress quantity of this, and I'm pretty sure this is the same colour that Purl used in her sample. So it's silver sequins on a cream kind of thread, and you hold two strands of this together with another strand of lace weight yarn, which I will be using Kremke's Soul Wool Stellaris in like a gold. I actually used this for my marble sweater to give a little bit of sparkle to it, so I do need to repurchase another one of these, but 3 strands of this held together, and I just think that would make the nicest dress. And ideally I would love this to be done for December so I can wear it in the Christmas party season. Also, what a fantastic like Christmas Day outfit this would be. I have no idea how comfortable it will be, obviously knitting with sequin, and I've never knit a dress before, but I am so up for the challenge because this dress just couldn't be any more perfect. I'm thinking about knitting this as part of my Instagram series of how long does it take me to knit a specific garment. I think that would be really interesting to time this project in full, so stay tuned to my Instagram for content like that. It is knit on 4 and 5mm needles. I still need to gauge swatch, but my only other concern about this, I think from memory, I've looked at some Ravelry projects for this and I'm pretty sure it's knit like inside out, so I'm pretty sure you purl the whole dress because that way the sequins will be on the outside. I need to do a little bit more research about that, but if you've knit the Eve dress, do let me know how it went for you. The idea of purling a whole project isn't the most exciting, but will be so worth it for the dress. And you know what, I don't actually mind purling too much. My second pattern that I would love to knit, and I've already started it, it's sweater number 14 by My Favourite Things Knitwear. I showed this in my last podcast. I've put it back down now in my project basket, but for this I'm using Norma Garn's Fivel held with one strand of drops brushed alpaca silk. I think I'm about halfway done with this now. I still have the rest of the body and pretty much 2 sleeves to go, but I cannot wait to have an electric blue jumper in my wardrobe. I think this will add such a nice pop of colour to an outfit, especially when the days are a bit dreary and more miserable. I really cannot wait for this sweater to be finished. My third project that I would love to knit, and you might have heard about this if you watched my cable knit patterns deep dive video, but I would love to knit a cable knit jumper, and my pattern of choice is the Sirena Sweater by Cookie the Knitter. Now, I have purchased my yarn for this and I don't like it. I really don't like it. So this is just like a warning that don't really trust the colours online. Like it would be so great if there was a store in London where I could go and see Drops colours in real life, because this to me isn't what I was expecting. So I was going to be using Drops Cotton Merino, and I chose the shade beige, and I was going to hold it with Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk in the shade Marzipan, and I kind of thought these colours might be a little bit similar, but they're not. I really don't like this beige colour. I just think on me it looks like, it reminds me of plasters, like it's the colour of a plaster or like a colour of a bandage, and I really don't like that. So now I have a huge quantity of this. I think I've got like 15 balls, which if anyone wants to swap do let me know, or buy from me. Maybe I'll put it up on my Vinted. It's such a shame because I really wanted to cast this on soon. Regardless of the shade, I think I'll just get an off-white colour instead. The cotton merino feels really nice. I've never used this yarn before. I think it's like a DK weight, and held together with this I think will be really nice, kind of soft jumper. I want the cables on this jumper to really stand out, which is why I chose more of kind of like a structured cotton. Also because I'd like to wear it a lot, not just in the deep winter when it's so freezing, which is also why I chose a cotton merino blend. I'm gutted about the colour, but I'm still so excited to cast this on at some point. I'm very aware that I've never done like a full over cable knit jumper before, so this project will probably take up a lot of my time, which is why I think I've been a bit too naive with all of my knitting plans here, which is also why I wanted to like merge autumn and winter into one. But I'm still very, very up for the challenge. My next project is one that I've had yarn for quite a long time now, I think since the start of the year, and autumn seems like the perfect time to cast it on. I have got 3 balls of the Knitting for Olive Merino in the shade Hazel, and 3 balls of the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the shade Dark Mousse, and I'm going to hold these together to make Petiteknit's Novice Sweater. So I really love the colour combination of these 2 yarns together. I've seen quite a lot of people use this combination on Ravelry, and it is just a bit of me. I'm so obsessed with browns at the moment in my wardrobe. I'm really missing kind of just a simple brown sweater vest. I can't wait to cast this on. So Petiteknit's Novice Sweater. Oh my god, my doorbell keeps going off. One sec. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna have to take my jumper off. I'm so hot, and the doorbell's just gone off like 3 times in a row. And running up and down those stairs has done me a dirty. So the Novice Slipover is knit top down in stockinette stitch. It looks super easy, super simple. It's knit using 5mm and 4.5mm needles, and oh, I just think like even on top of this, just a nice simple stockinette sweater vest in a really beautiful brown that will go with everything in my wardrobe will just be the nicest outfit. Cannot wait to cast this on, and this is a definite contender for casting on whilst I'm away on holiday in New York, because it's very few amount of balls and because it's kind of a small project, it will be very easy to kind of carry around in my rucksack. So this is definite potential to cast on very, very soon. Another project I've been wanting to knit for almost a year is the Monday sweater, also by Petiteknit. I am so sorry there's so much Petiteknit in this video. I like to try a lot of different designers. Just so happens that there are a couple Petiteknit ones that I want to knit. There is another one coming up in a bit. Oh. I picked up this beautiful yarn in Copenhagen last winter. It is the Sirena Sweater merino singles in the shade Candy Clouds, and those of you who've watched me for a while will know that I bought the matching mohair to go with this, but then I thought, why don't I use them separately for two different projects? So I used the Sirena Candy Clouds mohair to make the cognac sweater, which is still one of my all-time favourite tops that I've made. With the remaining 3 hanks of this, I'm going to hold it with Knitting for Olive's soft silk mohair in the undyed shade and make Petiteknit's Monday sweater. Again, a very basic, a very simple stockinette project. Not much to say about it other than everyone who has knit a Monday sweater says it's like their favourite jumper. It just seems one that people keep going back to, like a proper staple in your wardrobe, and I cannot wait to see what it knits up like with these beautiful kind of pastel shades. Also just generally very excited to knit with Sirena because this feels so soft. Come on, there's where Maurice wants to come in. Here he is. What do you think of this? Do you like it? I am not sure when I will cast this on, maybe around Christmas time, but it's definitely one that I would love to make and add to my wardrobe. I just think it would be the softest jumper, and because I've got 3 balls of this as well, I'm thinking about alternating skeins so I'm not getting any massive like colour pooling as well. But yeah, cannot wait to use that. And also, how perfectly does this undyed merino kind of go with the base of this? I think it will just blend in so beautifully. I have already done my gauge swatch for this as well, which I can show you. Just looks like a cream jumper, but when you hold it up close you can start to see all this really beautiful colours in it, the blue, brown. Another project I have yarn for and that I'd really like to make, this is technically more of a summer knit, but I really love this t-shirt and I want it in my wardrobe. I'm even more excited because I just found the most beautiful colour of drop spell that I cannot wait to knit up. So I really want to make the vine tee. This is a pattern by a knitwear designer called Athena Liu, and it is just a really beautiful simple t-shirt that has a really pretty lace raglan detail that also goes right down the side and into kind of a split hem. I don't know why I love this t-shirt so much, but I do. There's something just so beautiful and effortless about it, and I feel like it would go so well in my wardrobe with a pair of barrel leg jeans or high-waisted kind of flared jeans. I just think it would go with everything. And I found this colour of drop spell, it's called Zinc. It almost looks a little bit two-tone. It's got grey thread, but the base of it looks almost purple, so to me it looks really iridescent with the purple and the grey. I think the overall look will be like a grey t-shirt, but with that really pretty kind of lace work going down the raglan. I just think this is going to be so nice. So I would love to cast this on at some point. Again, this might be too adventurous. I might end up casting it on next spring to wear next summer, but I love drop spell in Zinc. I just think what a beautiful colour. It's shade 07. The vine tee is knit on 4 and 3.5mm needles. It's also, I think, got short rows. You're not going to jump up there. You're not going to jump up there. Are you really? I'll be here to catch you if you fall. He's doing it. Whoa, okay, very good. Don't fall on my head, please. There's a specific sample test knit by someone called Monsoon Tide, and I really like their one because they've done it cropped, and I think I will do a cropped one as well. I've bought enough to do the full thing just in case, but I think I am going to do the cropped version. Okay, my final petite Oh my god, I've got 2 more Petiteknit patterns. I made a Salty Day sweater at the start of this year, and I have 4 balls of Knitting for Olives merino in the shade Limestone left over. If you watch that project vlog, and I'll link it up here, I had a proper mare because I ran out of yarn and ordered some more, but the dye lot was different. But then I found my original 2 balls, 1 in each dye lot. This one's slightly more green. I think you can tell this one's more grey. So my plan is, because I would like to use these up and not have them sat in stash, I am going to hold 1 strand of each dye lot together and make the Sophie Shawl. I really want a big oversized scarf this autumn winter, and I thought this was a great way to do that with what's already in my stash. The Sophie Shawl is maybe DK weight, so if I hold these 2 light fingering weights together, I will hit gauge, and I plan to do increases until 2 balls are finished, and then decreases for the rest of the 2 balls to use up every inch of this. But yeah, I'm very excited to cast that on as well. Could be a good travel one to take away with me. I would like to make some fingerless mittens this year, and I have 2 balls of Phil Klarner's Alva to make the Petiteknit penny gloves. Again, I'm so sorry there's so much Petiteknit in this video. I think I've made like 3 or 4 of her patterns in the past. It just so happens that a lot of them are in this video, the ones that I want to make. And again, I bought this yarn in Copenhagen last year. It's nearly been a year, so I really like to use this up as well. I chose a really nice pretty brown shade for these. You knit this using 2 strands of this yarn, which is 100% alpaca together. It's the recommended yarn by Petiteknit, so I can't wait to knit these as well. Again, could be a good train project. Now we're moving on to projects that I know that I 100% want to make, but I don't have the yarn for. Some of these projects I have yarn on the way for, but otherwise these are also projects that I really hope I can cast on and finish this year. First up is a relatively new design that I'm not exaggerating when I say I think about this pattern every single day. I love it. I've just been searching for the right yarn to use with it, and it's been a struggle. So I would love to make the Miu top by Una Gil. I think I first saw this on Instagram and fell in love immediately. This top is a bit of me. It is off the shoulder, it is kind of loose at the top but very flattering around the boobies, and then ribbing around the waist, and this is like my dream top. I want to knit this immediately. I just can't find the right yarn to use with it. There's a couple of options. You can either use a spool and lace weight held together. She recommends like a merino wool held with a strand of mohair, but I don't want to use mohair for this project because I find it itchy, and I would like this to be a top that I can just wear all the time and it'd be really comfortable for me. So the other option is using a DK weight yarn, and she recommends using a cotton or wool blend because the wool has that stretch which you kind of need for the ribbing. I was thinking of using a really beautiful yarn that I have from the Camel's yarn. It's a beautiful brown shade, but I don't think I have enough for this project unless I was to play a game of yarn chicken, and I don't really want to do that. I also know that I want to make it in like a taupey brown like in the sample pictures, so I am just on the hunt. Either I get the recommended yarn, which is Sadness Gone Duo, which I'm very happy to do. Couldn't seem to find like a good colour when I was looking online, so I'm thinking of popping to the Beautiful Knitters store in Pimlico at some point over the next couple of weeks and trying to find a yarn there that will really work for this project. But this is one that I want to cast on ASAP. Again, I think it would be so nice to dress up and down for party season. I think it will go with everything in my wardrobe, and I cannot wait to knit that. A couple of things: it's knit bottom up, so you start in the round with the ribbing and then you divide for the top half. And yeah, I'm thinking again of sizing down for this as well, just because I want it to be kind of tight and really flattering around this whole area. A project that I have ordered yarn for and is on the way, and this is totally inspired by a friend called Claire, who I met because she's friends with Woozy by Celine, and we've been to Unravel Yarn Festival together a couple of times now. I saw her last week at the Unravel Yarn Festival, and she had knit the most incredible 2-piece outfit, and I immediately fell in love and have been thoroughly influenced to copy her. So basically she had knit up a cardigan and a skirt in matching yarn. I cannot explain to you how many compliments she got from people that day, and rightly so, because not only was putting those two pieces together just so cool, but the way she styled it with like tights, socks, brogues, I just thought it was just the most perfect outfit. A two-piece skirt suit. I've been convinced. So the pattern she used was the Sookie cardigan by Woozy by Celine and the skirt number 1 by My Favourite Things Knitwear, both of which I think are the same kind of gauge. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do the Sookie cardigan or cardigan number 9 by My Favourite Things Knitwear. I only say that because I already have purchased the pattern for cardigan number 9. So I've ordered yarn that I could use for either pattern, and I've ordered enough yarn to make the matching skirt. So the yarn that I'm using, and I don't have it with me but I do have a similar one, is Drops Nepal, and I've ordered it in the shade medium brown, which is a nice chocolatey dark brown. I used this recently from my marble sweater and it is so soft, so I'm so excited to knit a two-piece out of that in a brown shade. I've also ordered a couple of balls of the Rico Creative Make It Tweed. This is a lace weight yarn that is full of beautiful tweedy like accents, which I have wanted to use for so long. Whenever I go to a yarn store and it's in there, I touch it, I feel it, and I want it, and I feel like this would be the perfect project to use that with. I love the idea of adding a tweed to this brown skirt suit. I think it will add some really nice texture and interest. So I'm undecided of definitely whether to use that yet. I'm going to swatch it with and without. Yeah, again, it was just the tweed is purely inspired because Claire used a tweed yarn. So the yarn she used was Erica Knight's Pure Tweed. I love the look of that, and I would have copied her on her yarn choice as well, except it's super rustic and quite itchy, and I just know that I wouldn't be able to wear that, and I want the cardigan especially to be something that I can just throw on with any outfit with a short sleeve t-shirt and that won't irritate my skin. So that's why I've gone for Drops Nepal, because it's the right kind of yarn gauge and because I know that my skin kind of isn't irritated by it. I was actually thinking that the skirt number 1 would be a great travel project as well if I wanted to take that to New York, because it's not a very big project, and I think it's quite a quick knit as well because it's knit up on 5 or 6mm needles. So I could potentially get the first half of that skirt suit knit up quite quickly, which is very exciting. Okay, another cardigan that I would love to knit is the Hanni Cardigan. This is by a designer called Knitters and Friends, and I feel like this is having a bit of a moment online at the moment. I love the look of this cardigan. So this is an oversized boxy cozy cardigan with an O neckline and a folded 2x2 rib collar. It's got short rows, comes in 5 sizes, and it's super oversized, and I really want to knit this in a dark grey. I was even thinking of getting some extra Rico Creative Make It Tweed for this as well and make like a tweedy grey cardigan, but I think I want to keep it quite basic and simple, something that I know will be in my wardrobe forever and that will go with everything. And I don't really have a grey cardigan in my wardrobe, which is a shame because I think it would pair with everything. So the Hanni Cardigan is one that I definitely want to make. I have no idea what yarn I'm going to use for that yet. She recommends Sadie's Garn, Peer Gynt and Tin Silk Mohair. I'm pretty sure I used the Peer Gynt for my porcelain sweater and it did feel a bit itchy for me, so I might look at other options. Maybe Drops Lima. Can you tell? I'm a Drops girly. Especially if I'm buying so many balls of it. I want it to be an affordable project, but at some point I would like to treat myself to some more luxury yarn. But with the amount of projects I'm intending to make, like if I made them all with luxury yarn, I would not have money for food, so I need to be a little bit more sensible. The Hanni Cardigan, if you're looking for an O-neck cardi, is one that I would definitely recommend the pattern for. It just looks so great. I wish you could see Maurice right now. You're being so cute. Look at this cat. Look at you. Look at your face. And don't mind me with my beaker of Vimto. I'm an absolute child. No. Ticklish. Another pattern I would love to make is the Baguette Jacket by Soumine Kim. I've spoken about this in my cable knit video. Basically between this and the Sirena Sweater, I really want to make them both, but I know that they're quite big projects with a lot of cables, so if I have time to knit both of them, I absolutely would. I really feel like I want to knit a jacket. I've got options. I would love to knit the Dagmar. I would love to knit the Drift Jacket by Rose Knitwear. I don't really see people talking about that, and I don't know why. It's like super chunky. I basically want to knit myself something that I can wear out and about in autumn, that keeps me warm, and that is instead of a coat. The Baguette Jacket I don't think is going to be super warm, but it is knit with bulky yarn, so potentially I really want to knit the Baguette Jacket. I don't know if I'm going to have time, but it's a dream. Another thing I would love to knit this autumn winter is a pattern by Ozetta. I've never knit an Ozetta pattern before, but I really love the look of her garments. They seem kind of just classic wardrobe staples. I have a knitting friend who has only ever knit Ozetta patterns, and all of her pieces are so beautiful. She also uses a lot of construction techniques that I haven't tried yet, so I would just like to try out one of her patterns and see how I like it. I was thinking either the Constellation sweater or the Sadie sweater. I love the look of both of those. Again, don't have yarn for that yet. At some point I would love to knit as an Ozetta pattern. And my final kind of clothing piece that I would like to work on is a colourwork jumper. If you saw my last knitting podcast, you'll know that I was sent a pegboard with every colour of the Yarnsmiths DK merino in it, and this has just super inspired me to knit a colourwork jumper, because using this I can pull out all the individual colours and see what works really nicely together, and I found some really beautiful colour combinations that I would love to knit up in a jumper. I haven't done much research yet on what colourwork sweater that I would like to make, but I was thinking either the Key sweater or the Norma sweater, Petiteknit and My Favourite Things Knitwear. I was also thinking the Haze sweater, I think by the Knit Purl girl. I really like the look of. There's a pattern called Apothecary by Saskie Co designs. I think that's really beautiful. Basically like a circular yoke. I really like the look of this one called Little Crystals by Celine Feyten. I've never seen anyone knit this before, and I don't understand why, because I think it's so pretty and would be a really nice Christmas jumper. This one is so nice. This one reminds me of stained glass windows, and I would love to knit it at some point. It's called the Secret Garden sweater by Elenor Mortensen. Oh my god, how beautiful would that be with like tonal, like variegated hand-dyed yarn? That would look so pretty. It's obviously also the Rosy sweater, which is a new design from Lynn Knits that everyone seems to be knitting at the moment. But yeah, I would just really like to experiment with some more advanced colour work than just two-stranded, which I've done already. There are also quite a lot of accessories I would like to make this autumn winter, and I always like to have a smaller project in my handbag for when I'm travelling on the London Underground. So I really want to make a navy hat. I have yarn. I have this yarn. This is Drops Charisma in the shade Navy and Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk, also in like a dark blue shade. I think with this I want to make a cabled hat. I think the October hat, I'll put details on screen, that really appeals to me. I would also like to make a ribbed beanie with my leftovers from my marble sweater. So these three yarns held together, I think that would make such a nice bulky hat to match my marble sweater. That'd be so cute. I also am halfway through a Sophie scarf in a red cashmere that I would love to finish. I also have 3 balls of this really beautiful yarn, and there's a yarn store in London which is sadly closing called Slip Stitch, and they had a massive sale on to kind of get rid of all of their stock, and I picked this up. This is the Creme K Soul Wool Reborn Wool Recycled, and it's like yarn that has been made from recycled textiles, so it's better for the environment. And I got a couple of different colours, but I really like this one. It's a brown tweedy shade, actually very similar to how I expect my skirt suit to look. I don't know if you can see that, there's loads of like reds and yellows. Very, very pretty. I have enough to make, I think, like a sweater vest in one shade and a scarf in another shade, but my only worry is that it's kind of rustic and might be a little bit scratchy on my skin, but I really would love to use this up at some point this autumn winter. And then the only other category that I have left to talk about are gift knits. I went mad gift knitting last Christmas, so much so that I had sleepless nights trying to, like, worrying about how I was going to get everything knit up in time. I'm going to be a bit kinder to myself this year. I think that was purely because it was my first Christmas as a knitter and I wanted to give everyone a little bit of something that I had made. This year I'm just sticking to gifts for my husband, so I would like to knit him a jumper. I don't know how long this is going to take, I haven't got the yarn for it yet, but I want to knit him the Northland sweater by Petiteknit. It's a really basic men's sweater. He's seen a picture and he really likes it. Can't remember the colour of this that we were thinking of, but hopefully I will get around to making that at some point, probably not in time for Christmas but maybe for his birthday next year. And then also I really want to knit him a tie, a knitted tie, I think, in like a really luxury like silk would be a really nice present. And finally I'm going to make some baby hats because a couple of my friends are due to have baby boys this year. 2 of them are like literally giving birth a week apart, which is just madness. So I have just purchased some yarn alongside my skirt suit order. I bought some blue yarn. I thought it would be really nice to knit them some baby hats. That is everything. They are my yarn plans. There are so many more patterns I would love to make, guys. I haven't even scratched the surface of all the ones that I've got written down. There's some other loops tops I would love to make. I've never made a pattern by other loops before, but I really love the look of them. I'll put some details on screen. I also would really like to try the Escher beanie by Rose Knitwear. I would also love to make a lacework yoke top by the Knit. There's a couple of those that I like the look of. I've just not got enough time or enough hands, because also I would like to get my bandana pattern finally out, and I have some more pattern ideas that I would really like to start working on as well that I think are kind of missing from my wardrobe and I haven't been able to see patterns for yet. So yeah, there's a lot going on, but guys, but I really hope you've enjoyed seeing what I hope to be working on for the rest of this year. Stay tuned to my knitting podcast where I'll share updates, and my Instagram as well. I'm always posting kind of updates over on there. I would love to know what you're planning to knit on this autumn winter too. Lots of love. Bye.